This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado, in Cherry Creek North, where Interior Intuitions, since 1998, they have been translating their clients' needs, requests, intuitions into interior spaces that they can enjoy. I'm here with the President, CEO, Bev. Thank you for joining us here today. Why don't we begin, first of all, before you ever stepped foot in a person's home, did this professionally, before the certifications, being president of a board, way back then, what is it that got you involved, the passion in this industry?
People, the need for them to have solutions based on their human psychology of spaces. The evaluation of all of the product and the function goes along with really who they are in their biography. The detail of trying to discover who they are is a craft. You're a mediator, you are a psychologist, you're a marriage counselor. You go through the process of determining really what they really want and what their intentions are.
We have all looked through magazines before, getting inspired, creating spaces in our home that we want to rush home to. Why is it important for consumers out there to understand that probably behind every one of those images almost there is a professional at work?
That's very true. There's a lot of people that are being taught to do it by themselves. They can try to do that. They don't have the resources or the expertise that we would offer. You have years of training. You have the knowledge and the base of all of the training and education. I started in Australia, way back down under, in the mountains outside of Perth. So it was very different there, and not so different with people because it's the same process.
I imagine, first of all, we as consumers, we're not professionals, but we have an idea of something. Oh, I like a certain space to be like this. Quite honestly, what you do is go quite a bit deeper, go in depth, really understand, like you said, the psychology of that client and make sure you create something. How do you go about doing that?
I have a questionnaire. I have two of them. One of them is based on a template by NKBA, the National Kitchen and Bath Association. The other one I wrote, it's a personal design profile, which I tell people you don't have to fill this out, but if you did, it'll be a lot more fun. Because based on those answers, intuitively you can grasp their reactions, their body language, kind of really who they are. Some of those questions would be, what is your favorite object? Do you like people? Do you hate people? Where do you want to stand in the kitchen or the bathroom where you feel more comfortable? These types of things inspire their thought process to really evaluate who they are and what they really want to do. So the kitchen is one, the bathroom is another. The bathroom is very interesting because it's all about sexuality and how people relate, men, women, in that space, and how they determine how they're going to groom, bathe, do their thing with privacy. So it's very interesting.
Really what you're doing here is your craft, the art of what you do is striking a perfect balance between the voice of the client, yet the voice of the house at the same time.
That's right. That's very, very true. Architecturally, there's also a voice of the house. The exterior, the interior, the furnishings, the biography of the client will also influence this. So if they've lived overseas, if they've lived in the eastern states or the western states or the south, they're going to have a collection of interiors which are going to reflect their personality. So therefore the kitchen, bath, or interior design need to follow that voice to a certain degree. The trend now is more eclectic, so you're going to have a mix of Art Deco and all sorts of different ideas coming forth because people want to infuse other ideas in their life and inspire themselves. So that's where this is coming from.
So basically you've got some in-depth questionnaires that they're able to go through and find out a little bit more about them, really doing an analysis of what's happening here. Also, not only the way something looks, but what's the function of that room? Does that play a big part as well?
It does. Kitchens are, there are many solutions to every space. So based on the criteria of the footprint of the appliances, really if they cook, some people don't cook. Some people want it to be a showpiece. Some people do cook. I've done a lot of kitchens for chefs and interior designers as well. The criteria of the product selection is kind of based on how they're going to function in that room.
Not only the function, but I imagine even the people that are going to be in that room matter. Could be family, large family, small family, or maybe you're hosting many guests. That all takes part.
Yeah. The people, the one part that is forgotten a lot of times in kitchen design are the people. You've got the cook and the major cook, the working triangle, and all these major things. But the rest of the group really has to be considered as a zone. They need to have energy spaces to walk. They have to have a place where they feel comfortable. My rule is that 5 feet is as far away as anybody will be away from the major chef. So if they're placed further away from them, then you'll find that they're in their way, they're getting in trouble. So you have to design the spaces for the visitors and have them be close enough to the major cook, especially if she's a mother with children. You know, the kids are going to follow her and it'll be very dangerous. So, you have to be considerate of where the people are going to be in the zone of the kitchen planning stage. And a lot of people don't really realize that.
Obviously, your expertise you could bring to the table for any interior room in the home. Your specialty is kitchens and baths. Why did you decide to focus there?
Well, I didn't start there. I'm a trained interior designer. I've done man caves. I've done libraries. I've done whole houses. The actual soft furnishings and textiles I don't get too much involved with, although I have. It just depends on what the client wants. I focused on kitchen and bath because that's the heart of the homes, and eventually, usually, sometimes, often, that will expand to a greater project, and we end up doing the whole house. So, in color and textiles and everything else.
Unlike a do-it-yourselfer out there who's trying to create their space, as a professional, you really have access to many brands, products, materials, understanding all of them that a consumer would be hard-pressed to really understand all that in a short period of time.
That is very true. There's construction issues. In this showroom, there's illustrated various kitchen cabinetry. This one in particular is my trademark line, where you have inset as well as frameless cabinetry, and it functions differently, it runs differently. There's doors that open by themselves. So there's some automatic things that are happening. Automation is a very big deal right now. So the cabinetry, the countertop materials are endless. The tile, they all function a different way. Stainless steel, wood, granite, marble, Carrara, hone materials, man-made materials. So the proportions of those materials in color and contrast and form are important. And there are four elements of design which influence this.
One thing I'm always amazed with is the fact that obviously budget plays a part as well in the final output, but really many times when you hire a professional you can save money compared to doing it yourself because of the fact obviously if you mess up a design to find out later on you have to redo anything, there's cost involved.
That's right. Well, we do a lot of planning. There's very, very intricate drawings and communication. We have job books, and we work with the contractors and the electricians, the plumbers, everybody, to ensure that the guidelines of code are met and that the communication is there. It's the client, the designer, the contractor, myself. There's a bunch of people that are involved in any project. So, you have to be a professional in the labor cost and the whole bit. If people are trying to do it themselves, they might think they're saving money. They're really not, because the best deal is the best deal for them, knowing that what they're buying has value. And if they don't know if it's valuable to them, then how do they know they're right? And so that's why they should come to a professional to figure that out.
You have recommendations, reviews are great, clients lining up. But not only that, you've actually received awards from the industry. Share with us some of your favorites.
Oh, this is embarrassing. I've won a lot of awards. I'm on a board. I've published lots and lots of kitchens nationally. I think the publication and the feedback is my reward. The awards are so lengthy, I don't want to list them, but it's really the rewards of the people and the testimonials, because these people become friends. And if you're in a home and you're dealing with personal issues with people, bathrooms or kitchens or families, you're working with people for over a year. So you get to know them really well and know their bad parts and their buttons and what you don't like and what you could like, whatever. So, you have to be the mediator and be able to do the right thing, and those are the testimonials, those are my award.
How important is it for consumers out there to choose a designer who has been certified? Quite honestly, in the state of Colorado, there's really not that many that are certified.
Well, there's several different criteria. In kitchen and bath, there's a CKD, which is Certified Kitchen Designer, which takes 7 years of education before they even sit the exam. There is a CBD, which is a Certified Bathroom Designer. Once you have those two criteria, if you have them for 10 years, then you do further education, you publish, you become a certified master kitchen and bath designer. I am a certified master kitchen and bath designer. That's taken me 17 years. And I've been a CMKBD for several years. So There's 5 of me in the state of Colorado with this type of expertise. And not that you are better than, but you know more.
Yes.
You have a better resource. You have more savvy experience in being able to deal with the solutions and the problems that you might incur in a space. So that's the difference. The younger people that are selling today, they're selling.
Right.
Sell, sell, sell. Let's sell. Let's get a commission. It's not. It is about the money for them, but it's about the solution, and it's about the design and how the whole line, form, color, and texture are going to infuse in the space. And they don't. A lot of the younger people don't get this. They're not trained to see the big picture. They see the little one, and that's sometimes a fault. And unless they're certified, if they're not certified, then perhaps they don't have that resource to go from.
Obviously, your showroom here is a beautiful place. As you look back when you first started in '98, like you say, you've been a president on the Rocky Mountain chapter board there. You've also even been a judge on the Parade of Homes, I believe. As you look back at that, and you've done quite a bit, is that original initial passion still alive and well today with you?
Yes, it is. You know, the national board, I was on the designer council for the national board for NKBA. There's other boards. I've judged kitchens every quarter for a magazine, national magazine. The passion is really to make sure that the public can see the good design. I mean, not that everything is good that you see in a magazine. There's a lot of simplicity happening now in the trend of the contemporary lines, which is fine. Since September 11th, that's kind of what happened. It's been an infusion from Europe. However, a lot of it's not done well, and it's very, it kind of hurts your brain when you look at it. You go, no, because it's out of balance, it's out of proportion, and it is going to have an effect on your psyche, I think, a lot of times. So I think that's very interesting.
Folks, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is the location and address of the showroom here. You're also going to see the address of her website. On the website, you can take a look at some of the services they provide. You're going to find many, many photos that will really get your creative juices flowing and deciding on what it is you may want to accomplish. The best thing, you can actually click right there and set up a consultation. Come down to the showroom here. She will sit down with you and start really picking your brain as to what it is you want to do with the room, and making sure that you've got the right products and services come together all in one place. Once again, that is an Interior Intuitions, helping you navigate through the kitchen and bathrooms, products, materials that are available out on the marketplace, so you can answer that satisfying, all-telling voice. This is Gary Atencia with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know.